What I do for a living now is a second career. In my previous life, I worked retail and sold basketball hoops just like this one. I worked for a company that had a notoriously strict return policy. We get people coming in regularly wanting to return something, and we couldn't because what we had the ability to do, we just couldn't help them. And every so often we get that individual that was really upset and wanted to talk to a manager. And so we actually had something within our store where we would have a not it, or the nose goes. Last person to touch the nose had to go talk to the individual at the front. And so as managers, we didn't want to deal with it because we knew there was nothing that we could do. And so each time I went up there, I'd just listen and I'd try to help the individual the best way I possibly could. But oftentimes I couldn't do anything. And yet I learned something in that. I couldn't try to get them to do what I wanted them to do by arguing with them. So in the middle of the argument, often I would sit there going, "You're right." It was incredible to see the reaction of individuals as I would agree with them. "You're right, this policy stinks." And yet there's still nothing I can do. Have you ever been in an argument and tried that? As you sit there, understand where the other person is coming from and empathize with them. More often than not, the argument stops. But you know what gets in the way of us doing that? We want what we want. Our verse today speaks to that. James chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire but do not have, so you kill. You covet but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. See, more often than not, we don't acknowledge the other person's side in an argument because we want what we want. We quarrel and fight. And it says, does this not come from your own desires that battle within you? You desire but do not have, so you kill. Well, we may not literally kill each other today, but oftentimes with our words and with our actions, we do, because we want what we want. But you know what? We don't get what we truly desire because we ask based off of our own wishes, our own desires. We have to do that different. So next time you're in an argument, try it. Empathize with the person next to you. Give away your own desire, because what's the answer to solving these problems? Well, you'll have to come back tomorrow and find out. Hopefully you're having a great week. See you tomorrow.